Ahmed, thank you so much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we will find out about how AI is reshaping education, bridging learning gaps, and empowering students to reach their full potential. Please help me welcome to the stage the CEO of Alef Education, Geoffrey Alphonso, and for this session, it will be my honor to be your moderator.
Because
Right. Right. Thank you so much, Geoffrey. It's such a pleasure to be with you here today.
It's a pleasure.
And I'm pretty sure the audience is so excited to learn more about the power of education within AI. Now, Alef Education's mission is to make education accessible and improve outcomes through AI. Tell us more about how AI-powered platforms analyze student data in real time.
Sure. So first of all, thank you for having me. I think AI is some real tremendous capability in terms of really advancing education. And I think in terms of looking at data, you can look at how machines are essentially able to construct and understand data in such a large number set, and it's able to actually draw the predictive nature of really personalizing learning. And this is something that we do at Alef. It's really trying to understand the strengths and weaknesses of students and try and drive education that is fit for them. And even if you look at teachers in the way of how AI can, gather a classroom and teachers' roles become more facilitators. So you look at a traditional classroom, the teacher has to basically instruct 20 or 30 children, and sometimes it gets difficult to understand how students are progressing. I think AI has a capability to kind of give teachers the right insights so they can intervene at the right time and really guide students on the right intervention path. So I think we're just scratching the surface, but I think the potential is enormous.
Right, that's pretty fascinating, and it's incredible to think how real-time analysis could transform the way students actually learn. Now, we will touch upon reducing disparities. I'd like for you to take us through what ways can AI-driven learning solutions reduce disparities between urban and rural education systems?
That's a very good question. I think in terms of urban and rural, and let's look at a statistic, just broadly speaking, more than 200 plus million kids are out of education today, basic education. And when you think of urban and rural, I think it's going to level the playing field. So you think of maybe in rural areas, we've got larger class sizes, accessibility is a challenge. There could be also a virtual element of a virtual teacher that can support kids learn at any time. So I think if we look at the power of AI, it has the potential to really build an equilibrium and bridge that gap. Hopefully, the way it's used and the way tech companies, basically implement these tools doesn't create a bigger divide where education or AI is only accessible for first world markets. But I do feel that it can deliver education. And one of the things we've been prototyping at Alef Education is also larger class sizes. Maybe not here in the UAE or some of the markets that we work in, but maybe in Africa, where access to education, access to schools, access to infrastructure may not be there. So how do you kind of deliver education either online or with larger classes to actually support markets where there is maybe a teaching shortage? So through that, we've been able to see using a platform like ours that is available on any device. So whether it's a smartphone like we're using in Indonesia or in the UAE where the students are using actual tablets or laptops, can you still reach the masses? And can students still learn even if they don't have that direct interaction from a teacher? So I think that's where the truly transformative power comes and the ability to understand the students' patterns, how they want to learn, and guide them on their learning journey.
Right, and that's a very critical point, especially when we think about global access to education. I'm also interested in knowing about the specific AI tools or platforms that Alef Education has developed to support educators in making data-driven decisions.
Sure, so we've got a couple of things in our product portfolio, but the first one is the Alef platform. It's a platform that's typically used by governments and ministries, a holistic platform that caters to all curriculum subjects. And here you've got a 360 profile of a learner. So you're able to understand how they're doing across math, science, Arabic, Islamic and social studies, which is kind of the use case here in the UAE. So this program actually touches a little over 1.3 million learners across five markets today. It is our flagship product, and essentially what it does is it really captures a lot. We capture almost 10 million data points a day. Now we're only mining some of that, but essentially we're looking at different usage patterns, behavioral patterns, engagement patterns, and we're able to then articulate what type of media students like and actually drive them through unique pathways. But more on the teacher side, we've got a teacher portal that actually will help facilitate class instruction for teachers. So things like auto-grading assignments, taking time away from some of the cumbersome administrative activities that teachers do so that they can focus more on instruction. We also have supplementary tools like Alef Pathways, which is really something that gets down to the foundation skill of a student. So looking at mathematics, which is what it's implemented now, understanding that a student, say in grade 6, is at a certain level in geometry or trigonometry or algebra, and is really trying to build a skill development, right? So it's not only focusing on curriculum, but what are the foundation skills and how do you close those skills? So every student in the class could be on a different topic per se. And we're expanding that product for things like science, for Arabic and language learning. And then we also have tools that focus on Arabic language. So Abjadiyat is a foundation year, K-4 program that really starts at the foundation years where cognitive ability and what the kids learn is so fundamental to child development. And then we have Arabics, which is something that teaches non-native learners how to speak language, and it uses kind of advanced AI tools in terms of pronunciation, etc. So we're constantly prototyping, and our latest innovation is around using Gen AI, which is really a buzzword today. But we actually have a tutor that is trained on ChatGPT that basically provokes a student to ask the right question. Doesn't give them the answer like ChatGPT does, but we've done a sample size now with around 50 schools, and we've seen significant increase in engagement, and we'll continue to scratch the surface on innovating around those tools.
Right. I imagine these tools make a huge difference in supporting educators, which brings me to my next question. How can AI empower educators? How do you address concerns from educators who fear that AI might replace their roles rather than complement them?
Yeah, I think this is a fundamental question that a lot of educators ask, and it's students love technology and tools. They're born digital, they get it. But working with educators to make sure that they realize that they have a fundamental importance in the classroom, and that they're, as our existing minister used to say, the minister of the classroom, and that these tools are really complementary add-ons, right? So we always run into these challenges, but I think it's through education, through training, through professional development, and through building with teachers and administrators and school leaders, where we'll truly harness the intersection between using AI and human intervention to drive the best outcome for students. But we at Alef Education always believe that teachers have a very fundamental role, and everything that we build is also to increase student outcomes, but more importantly to support teachers get the best out of their students. And that will always be core to our ethos.
Thank you so much, Geoffrey. I'd love for us to discuss more, but unfortunately time isn't on our side. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Alef Education is at the forefront of making learning more accessible and inclusive. Thank you so much to you, Geoffrey, and thank you to the audience for listening.
Thank you. It's a real pleasure. Thank you so much.